Hello, YouTube. This is a surprising one. I did not know this was happening today. It happened. Nobody told me. I'm a big fan of Little Nightmares. I've been looking at, hey, is Bandai Namco going to be doing any showcases for Summer Game Fest slash not E3 that we can react to for Spawn Trap? And that didn't happen. So, yeah, this is like the second or third time I've been like trying to keep up with showcases that are happening this year, and they just sneak up on me. Where's Sonic Central? Is that Has that already happened? Did I miss that? Let me know, please. I need to know when Sonic Central is. But no, this is a Little Nightmares showcase that happened today. I was spoiled on some stuff. The only reason I knew about it is because I was just checking social media and specifically Blue Sky. I think also YouTube with some like YouTube thumbnail stuff, and not in some like news articles. Came up with some announcements for Little Nightmares, and I'm like, oh shit, there was a showcase today. I thought it was a general Bandai Namco showcase, but apparently it's a Little Nightmare showcase. The best kind of Bandai Namco showcase, in my opinion. Um, no, there's a story about this. I played the first two games. The archive streams are on either this channel or the live stream channel because it might have been before I switched everything over. I can't remember. So they might be here. If not, go to youtube.com/@tillplayslive. That's where all the gaming live stream archive videos are now. If you want to watch anything. Um, so yeah, I love the first two games. One of the spoilers in here I'll talk about, and it might get me to replay the first game. But there's essentially, well, now there might be more than two. But I always say I've been saying since the announcement of Little Nightmares 3 and another game that there's essentially two Little Nightmares games sequels or successors that are on the way. There's Little Nightmares 3, which is going to be featured here. And then there's the game made by the former developers of Little Nightmares 1 and 2, that are no longer working on the franchise, called Reanimal, which is a spiritual successor to Little Nightmares. So it's pretty funny. We're getting two Little Nightmares 3 games essentially, and potentially more because there's a whole showcase on Little Nightmares. If you don't know what this game is, it's like a side scrolling, kind not really side scrolling. It's like a puzzle platform horror game, where you control a little person and you're trying to escape and survive this Tim Burton like world in like a like a left to right side scrolling um puzzle game. Not necessarily a platformer. There are a little bit of platforming elements, but it's more puzzle based, I guess. Um, so yeah, this says an hour long. It looks like it's a half an hour, so we shouldn't be here that long. It is super late for me, so I should start this right away. Let's get to the end of the timer here, and let's see what gets announced here. By the way, I know I always find this a fun anecdote. I don't know. The second game I played on Stadia. I streamed on Stadia. Played the whole thing streaming and it worked completely fine. I was like, Stadia is kind of awesome, and then they shut it down immediately after.
Peggy 16.
Let's make sure we're getting. It's not the best quality. It's the best quality I can stream. But yeah, I do highly recommend these games if you want a horror-like game to play on Halloween time. These are great. Very spooky. And very creative. Characters don't say anything. Maybe like grunt and stuff, but that's it. On the first two games? Yeah, they're showing the first two games.
Go back to sleep, little one.
Oh, I don't like that.
The answers might be in your dreams.
Okay. I guess they're adding lore. Oh, these are the 2 new characters for 3.
Hi, I'm Jane Douglas, and thank you for joining us for this Little Nightmares
Hi,
Showcase
Jane.
event.
And I'm Maya, Community
Hi,
Manager of
Maya.
Little Nightmares, and I'm so happy to be here, especially since we have some charmingly terrifying updates to share.
We're going to be joined by some fantastic guests who have been working on a variety of Little Nightmares games and projects.
And hopefully they don't go sending
Oh,
too many chills
they're
down.
doing spin-offs.
Hopefully, they're going to be talking to us about the fantastic
Maybe that's why the
projects they've
devs
been working on, and we're going to get an
no longer
exclusive
involved.
reveal of a new chapter of Little Nightmares 3 and a deep dive into some gameplay.
We might even see the return of a Little Nightmares fan favorite. Who knows?
Who knows? But if you think we'd spoil everything here in the intro, don't even worry about it. There are going to be plenty.
I can't remember
of surprises.
who's working
Oh,
on
yes.
3.
Right. Now, some of you might know that I've been a massive fan of Little Nightmares since the first game came out way back in 2017.
Wow, was it really that long ago?
It was literally that long ago. And since then, we've been following Mono and Six through countless terrifying locations, from haunted hospitals to creepy kitchens. Many of our childhood fears have come to life. And now it's time to face another one in this exclusive Little Nightmares 3 trailer.
At a carnival? That ups the creep factor for sure. Oh, Supermassive, that's right, yeah. They're working on it. By the way, there's a Capcom game showcase happening on Thursday. I'll be reacting to that as well. But I'll be doing it over on the Spawn Trap channel. So, the Spawn Trap Twitch and YouTube channel. God, this should be... I think this is co-op. No, I'm pretty sure Reanimal is co-op. I'm actually not 100% on this one. But I'm pretty sure Reanimal is co-op, and I can't wait. And force Court FTW to play that with me.
As you've just seen, the carnival will be the main focus for today's look at Little Nightmares 3,
Cool.
and we'll revisit it for an extended gameplay demo and a deep dive into that gameplay. But for now, I'm very excited to say that we're ready to reveal the release date for Little Nightmares 3. Yeah, the release date is here. Little Nightmares 3
God, it has been
is coming out on the 10th of October, 2025.
Hell yeah, just in time. That's perfect.
Before we get into
I forgot
Little
it- they
Nightmares
haven't
3 with that
put out
shiny
a
new
release date yet.
Let's talk about Little Nightmares as a franchise. I'm joined now by Little Nightmares franchise director, Lucas Roussel. Lucas,
I'm
thank you for
skeptical.
joining me. Welcome.
Hi, Jen.
Well, we'll
Thank
see.
you for having me.
I'm so delighted that you're here. And also, I understand that you're celebrating a Little Nightmares anniversary this year.
Yeah, I mean, this event is a bit special to me because it's been 10 years now that I started to work on Little Nightmares. And when I think back to how we started, you know, I'm delighted and very humbled to see how far we've come.
And you must have worked with some really talented people over those 10 years.
Yes, so many, you know, from Tarsha Studio to Supermassive Games, I had the opportunity to work with amazing people. And actually today we will meet new faces, new talent working on the franchise. And a lot of them started off as fans. And now they're putting back, you know, all that love and
No
energy
layoffs yet?
back into the games and the contents that they're creating.
I always think that's so
Is
cool
Bandai
when
immune
fans of
to
something get to
layoffs?
work on the thing they're so passionate about.
Yes, and I really want to take this opportunity to thank, you know, all the fans around the world, from a single game to a multimedia
This
franchise.
set
They've
is
been,
crazy.
all the time with us, supporting us, and they're really the ones who are keeping us, you know, motivated to continue pushing the boundaries of Little Nightmares even further.
Well said, exactly so, because it's the fans that make Little Nightmares extra special. Now, at the top of the show, we teased that we were going to be talking about some new Little Nightmares projects. Can you share anything on those?
Yes, I mean, before that, I just want to say that to me, Little Nightmares is, the world. The world is what is the most important because it's filled, with mysteries.
There are these,
it's full of amazing
oh, it might be in the
characters,
showcase actually. I was
monsters,
going to spoil
location.
something, but it might be in
Each
this
of them
showcase.
has a unique, story. I think with the games, we just scratched the surface about what Little Nightmares can offer, and the other types of media, really allow us to.
There
tell
are,
different
I think there's
stories
Little
in more
Nightmares
new ways.
That's
comics.
very intriguing.
I
What do you mean exactly?
should look into.
Well,
I think I have digital
let's take
comics
the
for them.
example of the
But I
Sounds of
want. I'll
Nightmares,
see if I can find
the
the physical
podcast
ones.
that we released 2 years ago. We were amazed by the reception of the fans, and especially when it comes to the main character, Noon. And actually, if you enjoy the podcast, then I think you should stay a little longer, with us in the show because we will have some exclusive news to share.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lucas. I mean, I loved the podcast. And if you didn't listen to the podcast, you're missing out. We've got a little bit of it for you now. Let's take a listen.
I didn't know about this
Yesterday
actually.
evening marked my first true session with the girl. Signs of significant disorder are greater than I initially thought.
Bandai Namco Europe presents The Sounds of Nightmares.
Do you remember your nightmares?
I remember everything.
The first audio fiction series from the world of Little Nightmares.
Last night, in my dream, a muddled voice, and then I saw him.
There must be more. Try. Interact with the dream.
I tried to scream, tearing my throat, but I had no breath.
You were right there. Don't tell me you did nothing.
You're supposed to help me. You're supposed to understand.
I can't help you if you hide things from me.
My head! A fire burns in there.
We can face your monsters together.
Please stop.
Go back to sleep, little one. The answers might be in your dreams.
Interesting.
Here we are in the councillor's office where much of the podcast story takes place. Don't worry though, we'll be heading back to the carnival soon for a gameplay deep dive of Little Nightmares 3. But before that, I'll be probing the minds of Alize and Lonnie, here to guide us through the
I can't believe this
world
game is
of
getting a
media.
whole showcase.
So we've left
That's
the
crazy.
relative comfort of the carnival.
Not just like, hey,
Not
here's a
only
trailer
that,
for the
we've
release
left
date.
nowhere. We're
Let's
now
have a
in the county.
showcase
So
about
my
the
five families
franchise
that
of
hadn't been
Little
explored
Nightmares.
before the podcast, right,
This
Lonnie?
small little
Yeah, that's right. It had been
indie-like
that in the
game.
past, but The Sounds of Nightmares was the first time we were really able to dive deeper into this world. It was so satisfying for us to expand that lore and shine a light on this strange place.
Yeah, and we were very lucky to collaborate with talented people, included some members of our communities. I don't know if you remember, actually, it was, that contest we organized to know more about our fans' nightmares.
Oh, I do remember. We did receive some very frightening stories.
Yeah, the creativity people shared was just crazy. And adapting one of those dreams into an actual episode was a fantastic experience. And I mean,
Oh, that's
since
cool,
the launch
yeah.
of the podcast, the response has been so positive. I can't believe we've already reached over 2 million listens.
From all over the world, right?
Yeah, because we recorded in 5 languages, so English, French, Spanish, Italian, and German. And everything we've heard so far was so positive. And I mean, I love hearing all the theories they've come up with.
Did someone say theories? I'm here for theories.
Man, there's
Hello.
way more to this franchise
Don't
than
ask
I
me
was
to explain
expecting.
anything.
I just played the games.
But for real, it's that mystery that makes the Little Nightmares narrative and its world so special. And on that topic, we wanted to talk about the podcast.
Yes, we wanted to announce that we're working on the season 2 of The Sounds of Nightmares. It's going to take a bit of time to come to life, but we're very excited because we're going to explore even more the counties and the connection between there and the nowhere.
I'm so thrilled to hear that. I've already started like my second binge listen to season 1, and I guess that's just
They
gonna
got the
have to,
stereo
like,
sound
tide me
going this
over until
entire
season 2 comes
showcase.
along, right?
Absolutely.
It sounds
now,
weird
Alizé, the podcast isn't the only project you're here
because
to
they're
talk
not
about, right? What else
they're
is
not
keeping you up
always
at night?
on the left side of the screen,
The
but they're in the
comic
left side of the
series.
room,
So
so it's
Little
always on the
Nightmares
left.
Descent to Nowhere, written by Lonnie, by the way. And it's coming very soon, and we couldn't be more excited.
That's great. Congratulations, Lonnie.
Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, it's been a real passion project for both of us for a few years now.
Yeah, and there's a little something we've been keeping under wrap until now. I actually have the official cover
Ooh.
here.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Is that Mono on the cover?
Yeah, he's part of the story.
Okay, all right. Well, tell me the whole story then.
Okay, maybe not the whole story.
Little bit of the story.
but, yeah, it tells two parallel stories, one set in the counties and one
God,
set
how do
in
I get
nowhere.
these?
In the nowhere, we follow a little mute, timid girl named Hush, and she wakes up in a jail cell and she's cold, and it's not long before she meets Mono. They're a little hesitant to work together, but both of
Yeah,
them
they're
have to try to
dis-
figure out a
yeah,
way
they've
to
had
escape
digital comics. So
this cold
that is that the
labyrinthine
first
dungeon
physical
that they're
one?
in.
Okay, and how does that connect to the counties?
Yeah, I don't want to
Oh,
give
no, you
too
can
much
get-
away
wait.
about the counties, but
Oh,
it
no, Kindle
follows
edition.
a detective named Myra. and
Kindle
she's
edition.
exhausted and disillusioned. with life.
Hardcover, Little Nightmares
She
1.
has a chance encounter with a stranger that stirs something inside of her. And
I
after
gotta-
that,
I
she
gotta look for
decides to
these.
start investigating the cold cases.
I
of
know
children
everybody knows where I
missing
can get
over
them
the
in
years.
Canada.
Cool. Count me
Let me know.
in. I can't wait to discover how those two places, the nowhere and the counties, like intersect and combine. When can we get hold of the comic and where?
So the first issue will release in October, but you'll be able to pre-order starting in August through Titan's comic website or at your local comic book shops.
And how
Cool.
many issues will there be?
So 4 in total, and we're going to release 1 episode per month until January. And today we're very excited to share with you the official trailer. Let's watch.
I don't remember how I got here. 20 years as a cog. Thinking I could make a difference. I gave myself over freely.
Remember when Marvel did the
That's
motion
why I'm
comics
here.
like this and The
Sick of
Walking Dead?
feeling like a puppet.
Kind of wish they continued with it.
I'm asking you to give it one more go. Work with me. The milk carton cases.
The vanished children. They haunt every mind in the counties.
I forgot how good the music is in these games.
A little
games
girl.
too.
There's always a little girl. For the second time in as many days, I'm on a precipice. But this time, I have to jump.
Interesting.
Incredible. This is such an amazing day for fans of the Little Nightmares franchise. I, for one, can't wait to see what everyone makes of all of this.
And we're not even done yet. I think Alizé and Lonnie have a few more surprises up their sleeves before we return to the carnival, don't you?
Yeah, speaking of it, we're actually working on a young adult horror novel set in that same location, and I can't wait for you to dive into it.
Where am I going to find the time to read all of these? Oh my
I know.
God. What can you tell us about the young adult novel?
The novel tells the story of a young girl named Ruse. She wakes up in the carnival in a dark room, and she's there with 2 other kids that she has never met before. One of them is a mousy girl who has a noose around her neck, and the other one is this frail, starving boy who has a mask over his face. And in that moment, for Ruse, 2 things become uncertain. 1 is whether or not she'll be able to get out, and 2 is whether or not these kids will be her friends or something a little more sinister.
Well, I'm already creeped out and suspicious. when can we read the book?
It will be out in September.
Wow. So
Wow.
games, podcasts, comics, young adult novel.
Damn.
Is there anything else we can be looking forward to?
Well, we might have something else, but I don't know. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, we have one more surprise for you. It's something we've been crafting very carefully behind the scenes for quite a while now. It's a project that's really close to our hearts, and I think we have a teaser for you right now.
Oh. I was just about to ask him, like, where's the Netflix series? So, okay. I can't believe how much they're doing for this game.
Incredible. I'm so excited to see what that becomes.
What is-
Although something tells me it's not going to end well.
Well, it's not called Little Nightmares for nothing. So
Well-
we'll be gradually revealing more about these upcoming projects.
They
in the
didn't really
coming
say
months,
what
so
that was,
please keep an eye
though.
on our social media channels
Is it
and
like just
website
like a short
if you think
animation?
you can.
Is it a series?
To
Is
Lonnie
it?
and
Is it?
Elise, who we appear to have left behind
What
as
is it?
well in the counties.
I want to
for
know.
a treasure trove of information. Now, we welcome to the sofa. It is the producer and art director of Little Nightmares 3, Coralie Tim. Hi, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Now, Coralie, what can you tell us about the carnival?
So our two friends, Lo and Alone, they are trapped in the spiral. It is a part of the nowhere that they are trying to escape. So now they are in Carnival. It is a fun fair which is filled of like disturbing attractions and frightening visitors.
Not much fun in this fun fair, it seems.
Yeah, I hated fun fairs as a kid. Flashing lights, odd shapes, stalls covered in old soft toys. Wasn't my thing.
Yeah, right. And it's all full of noise, people, lights. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah, I've got to say though, as much as I hated it when I was younger, this level is one of my favourite in the game. It's really cool. Should we jump in and take a look?
Yeah, yes please, let's do it.
So interesting. Coming off
we
of
go.
So
Icy
here
Arrow and
are
I
Lo
having
and Alone. So Lo is the boy with the raven mask and the blue cape.
a
and
discussion
Alone
on
is
how
the one
like
with the
how
red pigtails
things that
and the
are
green
not
jumpsuits.
inherently
And they've come to the
scary
carnival today.
Yeah,
during
exactly.
our
It's a
horror
fun
game
fair,
show
but
reaction for
you will
Spawn
see
Trap
that
just
nothing in
have
there is
become like
And
iconically
it's not a great day to be at the fun
like
fair.
thematically
It's,
scary, like a
the wind's
carnival.
pretty bad today.
Carnival's not supposed. It's supposed to be
Yeah,
happy,
it is.
fun,
It's pretty
and
miserable. I
joyful.
mean, this is one of the cool things about the level, I think. We tried to introduce a lot of movement into the space, so you're going to see the wind, the rain, thunder, lightning. All of that really adds to the atmosphere, I think.
Yeah, and look at that depth into the distance there, the extent of the carnival.
Yeah, and you can see a bit more of the carnival from the top in here. I think it's really interesting to see all the big vistas that we can have in there.
Yeah, the vistas are really cool. You're going to see that as we zip across the space now. Feels really 3D, even though we've still got the 2.5D Doll's House.
I mean, it looks beautiful. Grim, but like, you know, beautiful in that
Oh.
Little Nightmares way.
That guy drowned bobbing for apples. Hopefully he's drowned. He might.
Who are these
Like
monsters we're seeing around?
what food splashed around in
The
his
other
bowl?
herds, they represent the dull, grinding monotony of the working life. You can find them in the candy factory, but also here when they are allowed to have a bit of fun in the carnival.
Okay. This creep, keeping Tom.
I really love watching the players
gonna
work
make
together
noise.
to solve some of these puzzles.
That's
It's
gonna
really
make
fun when we
noise.
do
It's
that.
gonna fall
I'm
apart. All
really-
the
yeah,
apples
really
are gonna
looking forward
fall.
to playing the game in co-op.
Yeah. I think
Oh,
it's
this game is
adding so
co-op.
much to Little Nightmares, being able to enjoy it with your friend.
So
Because in fact,
both
a lot of
this
people
and
do
Reanimal
but, like,
co-op,
Just watching their friend playing and stuff like that. Now they can just play together.
or is it just this? Oh,
So here,
So-
this house was just blocking the way, so that's why they moved the candies.
apples.
Because right now he's just occupied and we can go through.
Nice. I can identify with that. I'm easily distracted with candy as well.
I'm not sure this candy you actually want to eat.
Do I not?
It's pretty,
No.
it's pretty
Oh, okay.
disgusting.
I'll take your word for it.
So everything you see in the sets is pretty grimy and mucky. You know, they're not going to get their sign off for health and safety on their food standards.
No,
I don't think.
it's really grim back here.
So one of the cool things we're going to see now is the players are able to use their tools. In this particular case, you're going to see
This game's
Lo
very
using
dark.
his bow and arrow,
Oh yeah, there it is.
and we've got the puppets here, who are smaller enemies, and you're going to see Alone use their tools to smash
right.
their
There were creatures like this in the second game.
So one of the cool things about the design of the puppets
Yeah.
is they're just that bit bigger than the kids. You know,
Very
they're
annoying.
threateningly larger, but compared to some of the other antagonists, they're quite small. It means that they can be quite quick And as a player, it gives you a bit of hope that actually you might have a chance.
Like
of
just
beating
beating
it.
a guy who's
Candy
hanging
corpse
upside
pinata
down.
thing going on in the background there. That's delightful, cheerful stuff.
Yeah, so this being the sort of grim world of the nowhere, none of these attractions are particularly pleasant.
No, I don't remember this one from the fun fair.
You hit the thing and he falls.
Oh no. He's having a terrible day. Okay, so this is going to be
Yeah, he
me and
dead.
you, Maya. Who do you want to play as?
Well, I think I prefer Alone with the little pigtails.
Okay.
I do resemble her in real life, so.
Yeah, there we go. All right, fine. Okay, I'll take the mask. I like the mask.
Yeah, you like that?
Do you have a favourite, Coralie?
I think it would be Alone, but I love them both, to
Of
be
course.
honest. And I'm really looking forward for the players
The
to
sock
just
just
discover the
hanging
whole
there.
new story that we have behind Little Nightmares 3 and see like all their life together. The two characters really love that, the way they are working together, but also
Yeah, this
the
seems
way
this
they
is
are
this just seems
great
like Little
friends.
Nightmares, so I'm sold.
The way everything is like intimidatingly
Looking forward to that.
oversized. Like we're kids at a fun fair, but it's not a fun fair designed for us.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't feel safe there as a kid.
No.
You can see the sleeping puppets, so you're going to have to be really careful.
Oh
not to
shit.
No.
Oh shit.
Now that'll be me messing up the stealth when we play together, Maya. So you're gonna have to forgive me now in advance for mucking up the sneaking.
This scene's really cool. It's full of loads of tension.
It's okay, Maya. We'll be doing this together, so we'll be much braver as a pair.
Absolutely, Jane.
Oh, they're gonna start chasing them. One of them's gonna start running, and then they're all gonna start running. So one has a wrench. Is a wrench as a weapon or a tool?
They made it. It's good.
Yeah.
The other one has like
Everyone
a
can breathe
plague
again
mask.
now. There's gonna be no more puppet. Well, I assume no more puppets ever.
Not sure about
Not
that.
true. There's always more puppets.
They're gonna get a flashlight.
It's one of the
'Cause
cool things
it's
about
crazy.
the Little Nightmares games, and it's really important to us as well, is that a lot of the storytelling is done in the set dressing. So
Yeah.
all of the objects that you see, everything that we design, we take great care because we know the fans really love looking into the detail on that stuff, and they're going to make up really cool theories.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of storytelling with the placement of the things in the set.
So you're like consciously like leaving clues in the environment.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really, really important.
Very cool.
And thank you for doing that because I absolutely love reading those theories.
Yeah, me too. So again, the cool thing about this is as kids, you feel like you're sneaking into a space you probably shouldn't be in.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things I loved about playing the previous Little Nightmares games as well, is the fact
Oh,
that you're kind
no,
of
we don't get
sneaking
the
around in
lamp?
places that you shouldn't.
Oh, you did get the
Makes
lamp.
you feel more
Yeah.
unsafe.
Yeah, a bit of illicit trespassing.
Yeah.
You're gonna play the juke.
But
Is
for
that a
this puzzle, I
jukebox
think
or just
we
radio?
will cut it soon because we don't want to spoil everything for the players. Here we go.
Figure it out for yourselves.
Yeah, don't.
Under the board.
That's how to solve the puzzle.
Okay. Time for some classic sneaking.
Yeah.
Oh, that hand was moving. What are you looking for? I dropped my candy down here.
Quite like the fact here that all the bright lights are in the background. You know, you're sort of sneaking through.
I did notice
behind
that,
the
yeah.
scenes, in the darkness, trying to stay safe. You're going to see a line
Everything's
here
super
using
dark
the
except
tool in a
for
slightly different way. This
the
time to
carnival
smash through
lights and the
doorway to make
lightning.
progression.
Handy.
There we go.
There are different ways of using the tools, and sometimes in the different chapters as well, you can find how each tool will be useful for this specific chapter.
There's more than one tool? Or is it just a wrench? They're saying tools. Plural.
Oh, here we another blimmin' pinata, is it? Can't get
Yeah,
enough of these.
yeah, we quite like it.
I mean, I say pinata, but they don't usually have like dead bodies inside them.
Yeah, it's pretty grim.
But we are stuck right now, so we need his help.
What are they doing? Why are they doing this? Oh shit.
There it
What?
is.
Yeah.
Gonna lure him
Oh,
in.
they're blindfolded. Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
it's
kind.
done.
Probably wouldn't have been able to figure that out in the game. Unless they like explicitly said it in a
Gonna lead you
tutorial.
to your pinata now.
Yeah.
Like Abe's Odyssey.
Oh, I like this like
Hello.
sideshow attraction. That looks fun. Can we have a go on that?
Yeah, it was really important so that any character you will play, you
Mm.
will be able to do the
Cool.
to do-
Okay.
It's a nice carousel in the background there.
I love that. And some herd queuing. Just having a queue.
Waiting in line. Yeah.
Must be something good. What are they queuing for?
Not sure it's something good.
Oh, well, that's
Sorry.
just typical.
Yeah.
Waiting in line for a ride. Ferris wheel. Carousel.
Now, okay, looks like we get to go on a ride at last.
Oh, that's what they're waiting for.
Okay, a roller coaster. Now, in what way is this going to be like a nightmare roller coaster?
I think there might be some clues in the design, but I don't want to spoil it for the fans, so people are just going to have to look really carefully and figure it
Okay.
out.
Something to do with these sinister mystery bags in the car with
Quite
us.
possibly.
Okay.
They dead bodies.
Well, at least we get to go on a ride, though.
Yeah, it's a nice way to see the rest of the fair.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. All right, and now the climb.
And for now,
Oh,
that's where we
wow.
stop. We hope you enjoyed the journey. It's
Look
far
at
from
these
being over.
bodies just.
I did enjoy the journey. Thank you so much, Coralie. Thank you, Tim. That was great. I'm currently caught between the fun of a fun fair and the lingering, like, uncanny, creepy feeling. And I cannot wait to find out where this roller coaster takes us.
Me too. Alright, Little Nightmares 3. I know that there's more because I've seen other things get announced online, so waiting for that to come up.
Now that we know a bit more about the carnival, Maya, what can you tell us about the different editions that are available to pre-order?
So
Ah,
before
okay.
we go through that, Jane, I'd
There
just
we
like to remind everyone that the game will be available in both solo and online co-op modes.
Cool.
Plus, with the Friends Pass, people who purchase the game will be able to invite a friend for the entire game, even if their friend doesn't own it themselves.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Awesome.
Okay, what a great way to have your friends join you on your Little Nightmares 3 journey.
No excuse, Court.
Now, about those
You're playing
pre-orders,
it this way.
they are now open for all platforms, except for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2.
Aw.
That will come at a later date.
Aw.
And there are a few
okay.
different versions that people can choose between.
I was
Yes,
kind of
there
hoping to get it
are.
on Switch
So
too, actually.
first, as well as the
I'll get it on
standard
Steam.
edition,
Fine.
we have the deluxe edition. So this one includes the Residence costume pack, which I'm sure our fans will instantly recognize from our previous games. It also includes the Secret of the Spirals expansion pass, adding 2 new chapters, exploring new locations in the spiral. And last but not least, the expansion
Is that
pack
out on the
includes a
same day
costume
though?
set inspired by an iconic.
Because if it's out on the same day, it's
character
kind of
from the Nightmares
shitty.
universe.
Wow, that's
I
a
hate
lot.
that practice.
It really
eh?
is. And for those who want even more, we have the collector's edition, which includes everything from the deluxe,
Cool.
plus a steelbook, an art book, and
Themed box.
What's this?
this beauty.
Hey.
That's
Wanna
cool.
take a look?
Oh, I do. Yeah, let
There
me
you
look.
go. Look at those details.
Yeah, I'm not a.
Cute.
I'm
Really love
I'm kind of
that.
salty on like
And
pre-order
if that
stuff.
still isn't enough,
And
we
how-
also have the premium collector's edition with even more content.
I get why
available
companies do them,
exclusively
especially
on the
companies
Bandai
like
Namco
Bandai
store.
Namco, but
Which will also be home, by the way, to an extensive lineup of merch, which
Sure.
includes this
Hey.
jackets. Look at this.
Yeah, I've been eyeing that. In fact, I've got mine already.
What? Where did you get that from?
From the Bandai Namco store.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
there's a pre-order bonus that you can tell us about.
Yes, there is. So we absolutely loved the first 2 games, and you know, as fans ourselves, we really wanted to give.
I have
Faith
thoughts on the
even
pre-order
more
thing. I just don't
by
want to
Beloved
interrupt
6
the
with
announcements.
The Dark 6 costume sets.
Oh,
well,
okay,
that's
there we go.
perfect, because
I don't care about that
anyone
stuff.
can get too much. 6.
Never. And for those who want to see even more of 6, I'm very happy to announce that over 8 years after the release of Little Nightmares, we'll be releasing the enhanced edition of the
There we
game.
go. That's one of the
PlayStation 5,
spoilers things.
Xbox Series, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2.
Okay.
And that will be at the same time as Little Nightmares 3. Want to take a quick look?
I do, yeah.
Maybe I could play the well, if they're doing no remastered isn't co-op. That's just single player. I'll replay this game. I don't care. I liked it that much. 4K 60 FPS. If I want to get the 4K experience though, I'm playing it off stream. I got that on my TV. Cool. Oh yeah, look at it. That's much better. With the ray tracing HDR. Oh man, actually this would be a great game to play on my TV. Damn. Although my TV's not great, my TV looks great for 4K content and stuff like that. It's a mini LED though, so it's not OLED. And the problem with that is on dark scenes with bright contrasting lights like the logo here, there's a little bit of a blooming effect. Can be crushed in the settings, which I do have it a little bit crushed. So it kind of like there's a little bit of
Now, how did you like that?
quality
I
and
loved it.
lights
Now,
that you
we've
see,
come
like
outside
small
with
lights,
Coralie
but
to talk about
for the most part it
new
looks good. Like you
enhanced
don't
edition.
notice that
Coralie, what
much,
can you tell us
especially if it's
about
not
the
always
changes
on
and
this
upgrades and tweaks
on the
you've
screen.
made for
But
this new version?
So with Little Nightmares 3 catching the
So,
attention of so many new players, we really wanted
on
to bring
those
6 stories
scenes
up
where
to
it's
their
like dark
standards.
and there's like
The
the
first thing we
glowing
noticed
light and whatever,
is
that's
the
fine. But like
enhancement visuals.
the bright text and
Absolutely
everything, it's
stunning,
gonna
that's for
suck.
sure.
Thank you. And you will see that we've added ray tracing, volumetric lighting, all of those things that add so much to the atmosphere while staying true to the DNA of the game. We've also added new gameplay helpers and new checkpoints, and that's to
Oh.
make the game even more enjoyable for also new players.
So it's going to be a great way for someone who's like literally never played the first game to experience it for the first time, but also if you did play the first game, you can kind of relive it with a new modern experience.
Exactly.
And to give everyone the chance to dive right in, Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition will be available immediately for anyone who pre-orders a digital edition of Little Nightmares 3 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC.
Okay.
Oh wow, so I basically need to go play it right after we finish doing this show.
So if I
Well, you might not
pre-order,
have to wait that long, as I think this
if I
concludes
pre-order the
info for
third
today.
game, I get the
So
remastered
Little
game.
Nightmares 3 will be out on October 10th, 2025 on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, Xbox Series and Xbox One, Nintendo Switch and
Interesting.
Nintendo Switch 2, and PC. And you can go to the Little Nightmares website to check the different pre-order offers in your country.
Okay, I gotta
As
break that down
mentioned,
because they
Nintendo
said
Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders will open at a later date.
oh pre-orders.
to join
Oh,
the server
okay. I'm
with all
gonna
the
get it
info
on
the
Switch.
franchise.
Yeah, it's a great place to share your wildest
Wait, it
theories.
depends. If
I
it's a
know
game
Maya
key
loves to read
card,
them almost as much as I do.
then maybe I'll
I'm
get the
really
digital
sure it's
version on
always great
Switch.
to
I
see
don't
what
know.
our amazing
but-
yet little bit distorted community has in mind. I know I'll be right there after the show. But before we wrap up today, we've got one final small surprise for you, an early sneak peek at another project currently in development.
Okay. I swear there was like one other like physical thing that I saw online that I thought was part of the showcase, but I guess it's not. Yeah, I need to clear up the pre-order situation and the release platforms. Okay. Oh yes, okay. No, this was another thing that was spoiled for me. Forgot about that.
Amazing stuff. I cannot wait to experience Little Nightmares in VR. But I guess I'm going to have to be a little patient for that one. With that final surprise, we have come to the end of our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm off to play Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition while I wait for Little Nightmares 3 to come out in October. I will see you in the nowhere.
Take care, little ones.
Okay.
Bye.
So I misunderstood the social media post that I saw. Now I'll do a little bit of discussion before we wrap up here. Let's see what this is. This should be a fun co-op game. Oh, what's that guy? You don't say captured for long. You never do. Oh shit. Alright, I'm excited to play this. October 10th. I'll try to stream it in October. Pre-order gives you Dark 6 costume set. Okay. Pre-order to play now, Enhanced Edition. Okay, so that kind of clears things up, but... You can't pre-order the Switch edition yet. So this thing right here is what is the thing I have a problem with. We're gonna back it up here. So first of all, the Switch thing I was confused by. I thought they said like the Switch release date was at a later date. But no, that's just for the pre-order. So it's still coming out October 10th. So I want to get it for it's gonna be on Switch and Switch 2. So there's some Switch 2 games. I say some, but I think there might be just like one. I don't know. Where it's both versions of the game on one cartridge. And depending on which system you load it in, you get that enhanced content or not. So I'll have to look into what the physical versions of these games are. And in terms of the Switch 2 version, if it is specific for Switch 2, if it's going to be a game key card or not. Because I have no intention of buying any game key cards. I'm not opposed to the idea now that I understand more about game key cards. But I feel like if I'm gonna get a digital game, I'll just get a digital game. I don't want a cartridge that gives me the license to play the digital game that I purchased, you know? So I'd rather have the cartridge, the physical game on the cartridge, or the digital game. But we'll see how they're handling the physical games on Switch, because if that's the case, I might get it on. I could get it on any of these platforms because I got the PS5 or the Series X on my TV, which would probably be the best to play this, but I also want to stream it. So I'm thinking like what's going to be the easiest for me, especially if I want to play co-op. Especially with Court, I'm thinking of my friend Cordy FTW, what platform she has. So she does have a PS5. She has a Nintendo Switch and PC. I think the simplest thing for us is to play on PC. So I'll probably get a Steam version of this game. The pre-order bonuses, there's so many different versions of the pre-orders for this game. My God, this is one of the things I can't stand. Granted, a lot of those like physical things look cool if you're a collector and stuff. I'm not gonna bite on those. I would like to just like buy the figure separate. And speaking of figures, one thing that I did see on social media, there were at least 4 figures of Little Nightmares characters sitting on books that they were called. I think they were called monitor figures. So I'm not really too sure what they are or where to get them. All the posts I've seen for them are from US based social media accounts. So I don't think they're in Canada or can be ordered, and I'll have to worry about the tariff situation in that case if I'm ordering from the States. But the yeah, I'm surprised I didn't see that here because that's what I thought this was in. So I don't know where that's from or if those are new or old or what are they, but I'll look into those a little bit more. I want to look into the comic book thing as well. Those are separate to anything that is on the screen here, but in terms of the pre-order bonus, the physical stuff, fine. You want to pre-order for physical stuff, I understand. I'm not gonna hold anything against you. The costumes and stuff, I've never been a cosmetic person. The only like cosmetic DLC I think I've ever purchased is some of the Mii fighters for Smash Bros. Because it looked funny to play as, like Ezio and Cuphead in Smash Bros. But other than that, I haven't really purchased any cosmetics. I usually have like a pretty hard stance on that, but I understand like that's where a lot of lower cost games or free to play games make their money off of, where they get more players in and the people who want to invest in the game and support the developers. That's the way to do that. I get that, and I'm fine with it in theory. It's just usually not my thing. The thing that I have a problem with, which has been a bad practice since the 7th gen console games, I think maybe even before then, because there's PC games that have done this as well. There's the expansion pass, and I'm not opposed to DLC, like additional DLC later on in games. You want to keep working on the game to expand it and have additional content. I get that. They're not saying the Secrets of the Spiral expansion pass, 2 additional chapters. Is that immediate, or is that something that they're working on that's not going to be done in time for the main portion of the game? Like, that's the thing I want to know, because if it's immediate, that is in my mind a predatory practice, pre-order practice that a lot of companies have done, a lot of game developers have done, that I feel like we've for the most part moved on from. And this is just a petty like personal thing. You can just ignore everything I'm saying, but I just feel like it's shitty to be like, hey, here's a game, you're paying full price for it, you're not getting the full game though. This is something that was, if it's like available immediately, this is something that's part of the game that we're releasing at the same time as the game, and you're missing out on that because you're not spending a little bit more money to unlock the full game. That is really shitty in my mind. So if this is out immediately, I don't like that you're spending more to pre-order to access the additional content that should be in the main part of the game. If this is DLC that they're working on and be like, hey, we need time to work on this, it's going to be much later, but you already are secured in the expansion pack. Whenever we release it, you're going to have it. That's more okay in my mind. It depends on how soon, because like some companies are like, yeah, like 3 days later is when we're releasing the additional DLC. I don't think that's better either. So yeah, it all depends on what the DLC is. They did not specify, so that has me like concerned. Am I getting the full game or not? Like, am I gonna wait until the game is on sale for the Game of the Year edition, or like the deluxe edition that has everything that I want on it in one cartridge at a lower price? Is that what I'm waiting for? Like, just like out of a pettiness, like, do I just not want to buy the game out of principle, But this is a game I'm looking forward to. I want to play it in October, so I'm more likely going to get at least the main game around that time. If the DLC is out, I might just not buy it out of principle and just be like, I'll wait till there's like a holiday sale that discounts the DLC. I don't know. But another thing I find interesting is that it is being released on current gen and last gen, which is not a surprise. A lot of games are still being released on last gen, and not a lot of people, or not as many people as you would think, have upgraded to the next gen consoles. But I would say that's more surprising on the Xbox side, because I still see games being released for PS4 and PS5, because we've seen those sales data that not a majority of PS4 players have upgraded to PS5. I think that just happened, actually. I think I've seen that stat saying that people have pretty much upgraded the PS5 at this point. But for the longest time, there was a shortage of PS5s. The prices increased. It was, there was a year where like PlayStation was just like not releasing new games, and they're like, hey, don't look forward to any games. We'll talk about that next year. Like, they literally came out and said it. So there was a time where it's like, is there a reason to upgrade for the PS5? And then they have the PS5 Pro, they had the slim model. So I think there's more of a push to go for the PS5. Especially right now, since the Xbox went up in price, but all of these consoles are going up in price. That's just the reality of the world we're living in right now. What I find surprised, I'm not even that surprised that it's coming to the Switch. I'm just surprised it's coming to Xbox One. I don't see many game announcements saying like, yeah, we're releasing our game on Xbox One. I don't know how many people are still playing on Xbox One, but I guess it makes sense if it's being released on the other platforms as well. But yeah, I'm wondering when that's gonna stop. Oh, you guys can't see my mouse. The Xbox One, Switch, and PS4 releases, I wonder when that's gonna stop, because I thought we were close to it, and I'm like, oh, like last year, I'm like, this might be the final year. We're seeing that. Nope, we're seeing during Summer Game Fest, there was a ton of stuff that's coming out for last gen, so I'm surprised. And we're already talking about Sony's working on PS6. Xbox just announced they're working on new hardware, the next gen hardware. Nintendo just released a Nintendo Switch 2. So it's surprising that we're already talking about next gen. I feel like we're not that. I mean, for PS5 and Xbox, they've been around a while, but again, it's been a tumultuous half of. I mean, if we're looking at console life cycles, but I guess we're closer to the next gen at this point, because they were released 2020. PS5 and Xbox was released in 2020. That's when COVID happened. There was the chip shortage. There was supply chain issues. There was political stuff involved. There was there's all this stuff happening that prevented people from getting these consoles, and just not wanting to purchase the consoles for a myriad of reasons. And so I feel like now we're at a point where like people are starting to get into this current gen, but we're already 5 years in, which is like closer to the end of a traditional console life cycle, but not from the past gens, which have been longer. So you would think it's like it's an exponential gradual thing where you would expect it to be longer. So like right now we might be in, they did have like that mid-cycle refresh for the pro consoles last gen. So you'd think we're in that era where that's going to happen, and PlayStation just started that with the PS5 Pro. But yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like we're still early in this next gen, and Nintendo just released a new console, but we're already talking about the future generation consoles, and we're still releasing games for the last gen consoles. It's a weird time. We're just spanning 3 different console generations in a short time here, and it's super weird to me. I just need to get that off my chest. I'm sorry I rambled. But no, Little Nightmares looks great. I'm looking forward to playing it. Hopefully I can play it in October. Hopefully I can play co-op with Porter FTW or anybody who wants to play a spooky game. And the previous games were a lot of fun. So the one other pre-order thing is Little Nightmares Remastered, or whatever it's called, is available now if you pre-order Little Nightmares 3. So I misunderstood a social media post I saw before. I thought it was that if you already own Little Nightmares, you can upgrade. I wasn't really too sure on the upgrade. Like if you just if you pay money to upgrade or something. But I was completely wrong on that. I misread that. So you have to pre-order the third game to play the first game remastered. That's the only way that you can play it. That's super weird to me. I don't agree with it. But I would like to replay the first game for sure, especially on my 4K TV, because before I streamed it on my 1080p monitor, doesn't look as good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Are you guys looking forward to this? Let me know in the comments down below. Again, I'm going to be reacting to the Capcom showcase that's happening on Thursday. I will do a live reaction. I will do it over on the Spawn Trap channel, our group podcast channel. I don't think anybody's going to be able to join me last minute, but I'll see. Maybe we'll have somebody show up. I want to say Icy Arrow because I think he's more the Capcom guy. But he's on the West Coast. I feel like he's going to be working. It's on a weekday, so he might not be available. But I'll see who can join me. If we can have a fun group, or a like duo reaction. They're going to be showcasing 4 games. So Pragmata, Street Fighter, I think. Resident Evil, and what was the 4th one? I know that there's 4 games. Hold on. Yeah, it's Capcom Spotlight. And go to their website. Okay, yeah. Oh, Monster Hunter Wilds. I think they have like DLC or something. Okay, cool. Yeah, Resident Evil Requiem, Pragmata, and Street Fighter. To be honest, I want to know more about Pragmata. Also, I like maybe an excuse to jump into Monster Hunter Wilds because I haven't done it. I think it's on Game Pass. If there's like DLC that interests me, maybe it's like something that will catch my attention and make me want to jump in sooner. But I got a big backlog, working through stuff, so we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And are there any other surprise showcases I missed that I should be watching? And why didn't anybody tell me about this one? Let me know in the comments. And hopefully I'll see you next time at a live stream. Make sure to follow on the other YouTube channel, at Till Plays Live, for any live streams there. You can also follow on Twitch, twitch.tv/TillPlays. Join the Discord in the Linktree link down in the description below, or the Spawn Trap links for our podcast stuff, YouTube channel, Twitch, all that stuff. Linktree link down at the bottom of the screen. Follow the free games channel, youtube.com/@freevideogames, where I tell you about all the free games that you can play every weekend. And I'll see you next time.